welcome to Senior Savvy. I'm Jane Wells, your host for today's show. Senior Savvy is brought to you by the Oshkosh Seniors Center, where it's our mission to enrich the quality of life for adults ages 50 and older. Summer. Now, remember last month we talked about getting outside and putting on some sunscreen, but still getting some of that vitamin D, and we talked about osteoporosis, and we talked about posture recently. So all these things are all a part of helping you to be as healthy as you can be as you age. And we all know that if we can be healthy as we age, the whole aging process goes a lot better. Well, we have a wonderful program at the Oshkosh Seniors Center that my guests are going to share and talk to us about. And it's an exciting program, and I hope after you learn about it that you might want to be involved in it too. If you need to make some lifestyle changes, this is the one that's going to help us out. So my guests today are Amanda Ubalodi and Jim Meyer. Hello.
Hello.
And we're talking about the StaySmart Lifestyle Program.
Yes.
Awesome. So why don't you guys just introduce yourselves real quickly. Amanda, why don't you go ahead and start?
Okay, my name is Amanda Ubalodi. I'm the fitness coordinator at the Oshkosh Seniors Center. I've been here about 3 years now. I really enjoy what I do. I love helping people and helping them better their health and different exercise classes and things. And Jim brought this program to me, and I thought it was a great way for people to really improve their lives, and I really, really enjoy it. So.
Right.
My name is Jim Meyer. I'm retired military, retired small business owner, retired educator, and I've needed something to do, and I thought this would be a good way for me to keep my education going and help other people learn what I did.
Well, and needing something to do, my goodness, Jim, you have put countless of hours into this program, and you really are passionate about it and really care about the quality of it and the content of it. And I just want to thank you for all that you've done to make this program, to bring it to the center and to make it as successful as it's been. So what exactly is StaySmart Lifestyle Program? How do you even begin to describe it?
The StaySmart program started many, many years ago when I went to a program for the Veterans Administration. And there they had a program called MOVE, and it was in infancy stages. But it was a way to change your lifestyle through diet and through exercise. And it was proposed by, and you had to have a doctor's prescription to go to it.
Okay.
And those that had some trouble or might have trouble were allowed to go to this program to help with weight loss and that. We ran a program at the Senior Center dealing with weight loss last summer. And I thought, why not bring this program in as an extension to that and help not only with weight loss, but help with lifestyle changes too.
Right.
And so we proposed the program, and it was accepted as such.
Right. Because really it's not just about going on a diet, because a diet is really more of a short-term solution, right? This is really all about changing your thinking, changing your habits, your behaviors, bringing some new things into your life, and perhaps getting rid of some of that old stuff that maybe you don't need to be doing anymore that's not in your best interest. So I love that you say it's a lifestyle program, because that's really what it is. It is changing your lifestyle.
Oh, yes.
So tell me what the program offers the people who are a part of it. Tell me what it's like to be in the StaySmart program.
Be my guest.
Well, I'll tell you my aspect of it. Jim came to me because he really wanted a fitness aspect of it. So I come to every single session. It's every 2 weeks, and I bring different exercises to the people, and it kind of builds. Every single session gets a little bit harder and more intense, because obviously most people starting out in the program probably aren't going to know a lot about exercising, so you don't want to start too much. Right. So I just start with really, really simple exercises, then build on as we go. And then I also, I do the weigh-ins in there, and I'm here for, I guess, motivational, tips and, helping them with whatever they need me for. I also do, I present on different fitness subjects. Like for this past session I did, the myths and facts of exercise, because a lot of people, believe certain things about exercising that aren't always true, and so it's kind of interesting to know, what the actual fact is about different tips of exercise.
So if I was interested in participating, but I know that I can't really, I haven't done a lot of physical stuff, so I'm worried about everybody else is going to be able to walk a mile and I won't be able to walk a mile. Should that be a concern that I have? Or tell me how somebody who has really no fitness level whatsoever, do they fit into this program?
Yes, anybody can join the program. we have people that start, like I said, with no experience with exercise. They don't really know anything to do with exercise. And then people that, have some experience, and maybe people that just want, I guess, just something more motivating to get into, even if they are currently exercising. So we did have people this past program that didn't really have any experience. So again, I start very slow with them. The first session, I kind of just talk about the basics of exercise. So explain like what is aerobic exercise, what is strength exercise, because some people really don't know much about that. So again, I just start, on the very, very little and build on as we go, so no one feels intimidated throughout the program.
I know one thing your program did last year, or at the beginning of it, was give people pedometers.
Yes.
Was that helpful for them to see how many steps they were taking in a day, or?
I think it was nice, but the pedometers that we gave them weren't the best. I mean, they were donated, so they weren't probably the most accurate pedometers, but I think it did help people at least have some idea of what they were currently doing in a day. Some people got better ones and whatnot, but it kind of did give them some motivational stuff in there.
I think it does help to at least just, what you're trying to do is create an awareness. And so if you are wearing a pedometer and you look down and you've only gone 500 steps or 1,000 steps in a day, you realize, geez, maybe tomorrow I can shoot for, 1,200 or 1,500. It's a great measurement tool to see if you're actually building something, and then the ultimate goal to get 10,000 on an ideal day, right?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people think that they do more than they really do. Like I never use a pedometer myself, but we had a challenge here at the center for the employees, and I was realizing I really didn't do as much as I maybe should do in a day, so it kind of pushed you to go more than you maybe normally wouldn't have gone. So.
And again, that's creating that awareness of activity level.
Yep.
So Jim, talk a little bit about your role and what do you do in this, because you're really the catalyst behind it all.
As the facilitator, and I promised to do this part of it, my job was to acquire the presenters. In every session, not only does Amanda do a presentation, we have a presentation by a presenter, a health professional in the area. Our first session is actually going to be, it's already planned for this time, and we're going to have the Runaway Shoes organization coming again to talk about proper socks and shoes, because it's still early. This weather is nice so people can get out and walk, but walking properly is very important. We are bringing a new presenter in this time we never had before, and that's a librarian from Aurora system, and he's going to talk and help people who don't have computers or are computer illiterate to be able to track their food, track their information on a manual basis, and where they can get information to do that. So this is a brand new aspect that we didn't have before. So each session will have a different presenter that we bring in to help with different aspects. Pharmacist is another one we're bringing in. We're bringing in nurse practitioner. The dietitians will be there. Physical therapists, yoga. We're bringing in a chiropractor. I'm thinking a couple other additional ones as we go along.
So not only do they get information about fitness and how to be increasing their level of activity, but then there's also an educational component about all different aspects of becoming healthier, whether it's medication related or whether it's alignment or whether you're starting to walk and what shoes to wear and things like that. So it sounds like it's really just all encompassing.
It is. We have people that when they can't come give us excuses why they can't, because they really feel bad they can't come to the sessions. And it's the education aspect. When we did the evaluations, that was a big thing they pointed out, everything they learned by going through the process, everything they could use in the future. And to add on to Amanda, we had one person who could barely walk and is now walking 3,000 paces and is going to possibly come to the next class to continue what they're doing.
Fantastic.
So we've had people come in high blood pressure, no longer medication. People have come in pre-diabetic, no longer pre-diabetic.
Those are amazing outcomes to
Amazing.
have.
This was the whole goal. The goal was not weight loss. It was changing your lifestyle. It was making you more healthy.
Exactly.
And that's what makes it worthwhile for me, for all the hours I put in, the gratification I get from seeing these people doing much better.
And as a consumer, when you read labels and you see something that says no sugar added or is labeled healthy, you really have to read that label, because what they present as healthy might not actually really be healthy. So, and I know that was one of the components that you worked on as well. So let's talk about food, or how you brought new information about food into it so that they could make better choices, because you don't know what you don't know. until you learn it.
First off, the handouts are very good. The handouts actually go into the various aspects of food. We talk about the healthy plate, what you should have, and the dietitian really adds to that, as does the nurse practitioner. Each of the people add to that. We also brought in, and we didn't realize this at the beginning, we were told this from Molly Butts at the YMCA about Festival has a tour. It's actually a food tour. Not only they'll come in and do a pre-tour informational meeting, what you're going to do this time, then they take you through the store and they show you what foods are healthy, which foods are not, how the foods are valued. They use what they call a NuVal system, which basically tells the nutrition value of the different foods. They also go through and debunk some of these myths we have, what we should or shouldn't eat. So every meeting we go through nutrition, just like we go through exercise. But this was an aspect we brought in we never had before. So we took the theoretical into the practical world to see how that really works.
Right. And also you mentioned the handouts, because I know that every week people leave with substantial information in a binder. And that's their reference when they get home. They can, what was that we talked about? Oh yeah, here it is, da-da-da-da-da-da. Or here's how I do this. So they walk away with tools, not only from the presenters and from you, Amanda, but then also something hard copy to take home and refer to again.
And I know people really appreciated that, because again, with all the different sessions we have, all the different presenters, you forget things very easily. Same with the exercises. So I think that was a big component of what we had in our program.
Right.
And the people read them. That was surprising. They actually read them, because we knew they did as we went through some of the different aspects. They could go back and tell us what they read about before.
Well, and I think sometimes, as you're on a journey like this of changing your lifestyle, okay, so what you told me today, it doesn't really apply to me right now. But then in 3 weeks, all of a sudden, I'm like, you know what? They were telling me something about this. And you go back and you look it up and you're like, So the information is there when you're ready for it, or, when you're like moving through the steps to get healthier. Sometimes you got to go back and refer. That's right. That's what they told us about how to handle this or that. So tell me about what, who would be an ideal person for this type of program? Pretty
much anybody. Obviously weight loss is, an important aspect, but even just coming in for motivation. If someone maybe is currently doing some exercising, but they're really not motivated, or they just don't know a lot about what they're doing, if they're doing it right, coming in and doing that, all the way to someone that, really, really needs to lose weight because they have, diabetes, they have joint issues, they have knee problems, things like that. So I think anybody would be a good candidate. Obviously, I think this time around we did have people that maybe more needed it for the weight, but the weight isn't always the most important thing, as we know. And
that's what we found. We evolved from the point of pointing to people, these are people should go, to say anybody who wants to make a lifestyle change to help them live healthier into the future. That's really what we're looking for. And we had great success. We actually had 13 out of 13 people complete the course. 6 months religiously came to the course, and they really enjoyed it. In fact, they came out and just everything they learned was really good.
So tell me about some of the things that people have shared who have been in because you did run the one session now, like you said, and it was 6 months long. And what are some of the people who have completed those 6 months? What are they saying? What are they saying about the program? What are they saying about what's different in their life?
Well, I think, again, I've heard a lot of people saying that they're more motivated. They know what they're doing now. They know what they have to do. They're keeping track of their food more than, most people don't typically keep track of what they're eating in a day. And I think from keeping track of that, you really realize, I'm actually eating more than I should be, or, I'm getting more fat than I should be in a day. And, the exercise, too, I think is a big component. Like, a lot of people, maybe didn't lose as much weight as they would have liked this time around, but they also had their body fat go down, because we did body fat measurements. Because sometimes people are so focused on the number on the scale. Like I remember, pretty much every session that people came in to get weighed in, they would say, I didn't really do good this time, or I feel sad because I really didn't lose weight. But then you look at the measurements at the end and you see people that go from, like we said, pre-diabetic to nothing. I mean, that is what you really want to look at. Those
are the better things to measure by than the numbers on the scale.
Exactly.
So, Jim, any other testimonials or things people have shared with you that you feel it's important for others to hear who might want to learn more about the program? Or
one, I can say young ladies, I'm in the older age group, bursitis of hip problems, no pain problems anymore. One person truly was high blood pressure on medication and no longer is on high blood pressure medication at all, and everything's great. The pre-diabetic is another portion. People who have actually had their spouses, and that's the big carryover. We saw support persons and spouses actually lose as much or more than some of the people in our class because they actually supported and participated with the people. So this was not just for ours. We actually had a class bringing the support people in. Say, here's what's going on. We'd like you to participate with your person and help support them. They actually were very beneficial in helping themselves as well as their person. So it's just a myriad. Everybody has got different stories. The walking for a short period, now I can walk further. And you can go on and on with what people have done, but mainly it's I feel better about myself. I'm healthier. I'm happy. I'm happier. I'm really happy now.
And so much of our diet, there's a lot of things in our food, a lot of additives. And when you talk about the joint issues or the inflammation issues, sometimes changing your diet, there are specific foods that either cause inflammation or can help to fight the inflammation. And I'm sure the dietitian talks about that kind of stuff. It goes back to that awareness level. You're not even really aware of how much you're eating in a day, and then all of a sudden when you're writing it down, it's like, whoa. And look, I had this, and this, and those all contribute to inflammation. Well, no wonder I'm feeling like I am today. And if I switch to this, let's see if that makes a difference. I mean, that's huge. That's instead of popping a pill, it's popping a blueberry or a cherry or whatever. That's amazing and great information for people to know.
And along with the nutrition, I think a lot of people had a lot of gains in their fitness and strength. Like, even daily activities are easier now. They feel stronger. Their clothes fit better. They feel better about themselves. Even Jim said he kind of went along with the program himself, and he says he feels a lot stronger in his upper body than he didn't before. And so those things do get better as you go along in the program.
Well, and one of the risks as we get older is falling. And we know, you and I know, that if people have more strength in their core, that definitely helps with not falling. Let's say that. So not only are you creating healthy eating habits, but then if you're strengthening the body as well, you can better react when things come upon you so that it doesn't lead to something much more worse than what it would have been. If that makes sense at all. All right. So tell me what a typical meeting is like. How many, is it 10 minutes long? Is it like Weight Watchers where dunk, 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 you're in and out and all that kind of stuff?
Meeting's 2 hours long.
It's 2 hours long.
We started an hour and a half and found we didn't have enough time. Our presenters range from 45 minutes to an hour with their questions and so forth. But then Amanda has her session to do exercises and there's a nutrition session. So we build them all together in that 2 hour period, go through the handouts, and really each one is an education unto itself. And that's what we try to do. So it is not short, and it's a dedication. When you start the program at the beginning, you're told this is not a come and go program. It's 6 months. You're going to come to every session for the 6 months period. It's a commitment you have to make. If you want to change your lifestyle, you got to start now by going to these sessions.
And 2 hours seems like it'd be a long time, but I mean those sessions go so fast. Like we go from weigh-ins at the beginning, then the speaker talks for you said 45 to an hour, and then I talk for like 30 minutes and do my exercising. Jim talks. I mean it just flies by. Sometimes I feel like we don't even have enough time in 2 hours.
So it is a commitment. It's a 6-month program at least, and it's 2 hours like every other week.
Yes.
So it's not every week, but it's every other week. So there's going to be an informational meeting. Tell us a little bit about that. So say somebody's heard all this and they're interested in finding out more. Where do they go? What do they do? How does that work?
So we're going to have an information meeting on August 11th. It's going to be from 9:30 to 10:30 at the North Building. And basically we're just going to go over, again, everything we've talked about here, just really, reiterating what this program is about, what to expect in the program, who our speakers are going to be, what information you're going to get. I'm going to talk about, what I'm going to offer in the program. Just really going over all the details of what they may have questions about, because, seeing this, they may have different questions that maybe we don't cover, and this will really cover everything that they need to know.
So August 11th at 9 o'clock or at 9:30?
9:30.
Okay.
Yep.
And so that's just the informational meeting, and there's no charge to come to that. That's just to come and learn a little bit more about the program, see if it's a fit. And then when does the actual program itself start?
It'll start on September 1st.
Okay.
So we want people to register, obviously, ahead of time. They
Right.
can also register at the information meeting if they would like, if they know
Okay.
for sure that, they're going to be involved in it.
Sure.
So it'll be September 1st will be our first actual session.
Of the StaySmart Lifestyle
Yep.
Program.
Yep. And
Right.
then we'll have the next one the next week, the 8th. And then after that, it'll be every other week
Okay.
till March 1st.
So August 11th is the informational meeting, and there's no charge for that. But we would like people to still call and register for that ahead of
Yes.
time. And that's just the 232-5300, the main
Yes.
number at the Senior Center. And then the actual Stay Smart Lifestyle Program itself starts in September.
Yep.
And there is a fee for it, but those numbers haven't exactly been figured out to the dollar.
Yep.
But I will say this, it's extremely reasonable.
Yes, for what you get.
Yes, for what you get and the length of time that the program runs.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. So anything else, any other last things you'd love to say about this program to get people to
We actually
come in?
added something in this program which wasn't in the MOVE program. We're teaching people how to develop their own recipes and figure nutrition value in the recipes they have at home. And I brought actually sample recipes in, and we looked at that, what was in that recipe, what the ingredients were, what the nutrition value was for the
Sure.
recipe and per serving, and then how could we better that? What could we change it to make it even better than what I have? So I brought in some that were not as good and some that were better, and then we talked
Right.
about those.
Right.
So that was a new aspect because people said, well, okay, fine, I can put in off of a label of a can, but
Right.
what about my own recipes? And we
Sure.
tried to, that was part of the development in this class as we went along that was needed.
Right. Well, and it is hard when you're cooking for one or two, sometimes to get motivated and to make those healthier choices and not to, but when you are cooking from scratch, then it's really good to know what it is you're putting in there.
Yes.
And the value of it all, like you said. All right. Any other last comments as we get ready to wrap up?
I would say just for people to know that they should not be intimidated or,
Right.
Nervous about joining this,
Right.
thinking that, there really is no hope for them to lose weight if they feel like they're kind of past, what
Right.
they can do, because anybody can lose weight, anybody can get healthy. You just have to be motivated and have the tools to do it.
Right. And I would imagine there's part of the greatness of this program is the connectivity amongst the people because
Yes.
they're all on the same path. They're all walking the same walk. And
Yeah.
some weeks you do really well and other weeks, not so much. And you just start back over. And I'm sure that's what the group definitely helps with.
It's truly a support
Exactly.
group. They support
Yes.
each other. There's no picking on anybody. Everybody wants everybody to succeed.
Right.
And that's the big goal behind this. And they do support each other and promote each
Right.
other. So.
Yeah.
And we all know when you're really looking at lifestyle changes, that support aspect and that connectivity aspect is critical to it being successful.
Yes.
So, and Jim, thank you again for all of your efforts with this
welcome.
program. You're definitely carrying the torch and leading it, which is wonderful, and you have put countless hours, and thank you for your outreach into the community to bring in the presenters.
One plug.
Yes?
We are looking to add weight barbells
Yep.
to our program, which we didn't have this last time. And we're looking for donations for barbells if people could help us. For the light ones, 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 5 pounds.
So the little hand weights you're
Little
talking
hand
about.
weights we're looking about.
Yep.
Up to 15 pounds. If people could help us, that'd be greatly appreciated. Because that would help us and help the people doing the
Right.
exercise do more than we can do in this last session.
Right. So we're looking for donations. Drop them off at the Senior Center.
Yep.
We'll take them and add them to the program. So that's wonderful. Well, thank you very much, both of you, for coming on and talking about Stay Smart.
thank you very
And August 11th is that informational meeting, and
You
we'll
bet.
go from
Yep.
there.
Sounds
bet.
good.
Great. Exciting stuff happening. It's fun. But that's not the only exciting thing we have coming up at the Oshkosh Senior Center as we get ready to roll towards fall. Of course, we have our Fall Family Fun Fest, and that is in September, and actually on Sunday, September 13th. And that's all over the North Building at the Oshkosh Senior Center, and it also is the same day that we run the Granny Smith Walk Run, which is great. If you're looking for a lifestyle change, come and just walk a mile or walk the 5K. It's a great event. Like I was saying, the Granny Smith 5K Walk Run is also on September 13th, and that is a fundraiser for the Oshkosh Senior Center, and all ages are welcome. We encourage intergenerational, so grandma, daughters, kids, whatever, grandchildren, everybody to come and participate in that. Another great event that we have coming up in the community is Touch a Truck, and it's family night at the Leach Amphitheater, and that will be on Saturday, August 8th from 4 to 8 p.m. And then there'll be an outdoor movie at dusk. So Oshkosh Corporation sponsors this, and the parking lot is filled with every kind of vehicle you can imagine, and the kids get to climb in them and push buttons and honk horns, and the event is free, and there are concessions for sale. So come on down, bring your money for some food, and join us at Touch a Truck on August 8th. We also need volunteers to help out at that August 8th event to help those kids in and out of the truck. So please call the Oshkosh Senior Center if you are interested in volunteering. Beginner bird carving classes are starting July 23rd and will run through August 20th. Please register by July 12th, which is today. And yesterday, right? And the cost is $15 for a resident and $17 for a non-resident. We have a great program called Summertime Crafts, making wind chimes and paper towel. Please register by the Monday prior. Those are running on July 16th and July 23rd. Those are Thursday afternoons. If you're into bike riding, we have senior summer bike rides, which leave on Thursdays at 9:30 a.m. These bike rides go for about 20 to 25 miles and have different destination start out points. So check the newsletter to find out where they are. Tuesday, July 21st, 1:30 p.m. Come on in to learn about internet in your TV and how you can make these systems work together. Calm your bladder. You know, funny things happen as you age. But if you have any issues with your bladder or things like that, please come to a program on Tuesday, July 21st and learn about some new and progressive things that are happening to help you with that. Again, we have more volunteer opportunities at the Oshkosh Senior Center, and volunteers are really the backbone of our organization, and we could not run without them. If you like to work with people more in a health role, we have a need for nail care assistants. We have a need for bingo callers. We have a need for lead cooks, front desk workers, wood shop supervisors. Please call Jody at 232-5306 and let her know about your volunteer interest or find out a little bit more about what's going on. If you haven't been downtown on a Saturday morning to check out the Oshkosh Farmers Market, I highly recommend it. It's a pretty neat thing to see and to be a part of. And we invite you to come and visit the OSC booth at the Farmers Market on July 25th. And they are going to have Fall Family Fun Fest raffle tickets, and you can purchase them there, or you can purchase them from me, since we're kind of having a little competition who can sell the most. So come on down and visit us at the Farmers Market. And lastly, at the end of July, Marshall Potter and Paula Steinert will be doing a concert in the South Building. Fabulous concert. If you've never heard these two, come on down for a great afternoon of music, and that will be Thursday, July 30th at 1:00 p.m. in the South Building. So that's just a few of the things happening at the Oshkosh Senior Center. There's more than what we can even talk about in this. If you'd like to find out more, you can check out our newsletter online, or you can call the Senior Center, 232-5300, and find out what's all happening. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful summer, everyone, and we'll see you real soon. Thanks for watching Senior Savvy.